The Last Cure. Sybil Glupot stood on the station platform at Carlsbad. With her maid, her secretary, and 2 Skye Terriers, when suddenly she realized to her horror she'd been overcured. She'd been to 5 great spas since June. 5 great doctors had done 5 different things to her, leaving her 5 times more desperate. Now, Sybil's motive in going to the cures was quite apart from her trouble, which had been too many husbands. And not enough fun. She'd always been snatching at the wrong straw. Even at Carlsbad, which she loathed. She walked over those pine-clad hills at 6 o'clock in the morning and drunk deep of that magic water again and again and again and again and again and again. And then run with the crowd for shelter with a forced laugh. Most charming discussions were always being interrupted by a call of the wild. And how she hated the mornings at Carlsbad because she'd never been able to finish While Rome Burns by Alexander Wolcott. The doctors were always turning on the hose. In fact, poor Sybil Glupot had been flushed to death until all the mystery of life had been washed out of her. She felt that her insides were cold and unfriendly. They no longer belonged to her anymore. They belonged to the doctors. And worse still, there was no coordination between her thoughts and her glands. And she loved her glands. Dr. Schwartz, the specialist from Vienna, had told her that she was practically free from all future trouble, and alas, she knew it was all too true. And she'd always had more clothes, more jewels, more furs than anyone else in the world. But she never had a chance to wear half of them, because all her husbands had been outdoor men. Outdoor men. They loved horses and dogs, wine, women and song, and boats, boats, boats. Hey, but her last husband, who had never had a cent until she married him, had taken up serious racing on the Sound with all the nonsense that goes with it. She never heard from him unless he needed new nonsense money. In 2 weeks, he'd be joining her on the Riviera, and she'd have to listen to those same old explanations. As she thought of this, she kicked one of the dogs and said, "I'll wreck his damn boat." As the train came in, Miss Emmett, her Scotch secretary, who was taking notes while seeing Mrs. Glupot in every position known to man, said, "5:15, Mrs. Glupot, time for your Carlsbad water." But she said, "Not on a train, no, not on a train." And then she collapsed. Now, Hortense, who had not been her maid 12 years for nothing, after tucking Madame in bed, stole out of the next station and sent the following wire to Sybil's German lover: "Count Drei Viertel in Schweibach. Meet Orient Express, Paris Friday. Madame's last cure, a washout."